take some of the weight off of us. With Ruby and Bella, unfortunately, their plot lines and their storylines have involved either one or both of us. You know, you haven't seen many scenes with Katie Cassidy without us, except for one she had with Jim Beaver. Lauren Cohan, you haven't, I don't think, seen any scenes of hers. Okay, you saw one with her and Gordon, played by Sterling Brown. But otherwise, all their stuff is either with one or both of us. So it's funny because we were talking to the writers. We were like, you introduce these new characters to help us out with time, and so far they've just had scenes with both of us. So, you know, help us out.
So what's happening from now on till the end of the season? Is there going to be a huge battle with Lilith, or what's...
There's going to be a huge battle in general. I mean, the season finale, as far as I can tell, goes all the way to the end of Dean's year-long contract, you know, and so something's going to happen. Something has to happen, because with demons, something happens when they say something's going to happen, and so we have to figure out, obviously, Sam and Dean and the rest of the Winchester parade, you know, with Jim Beaver and whoever else decides to team up on our side, are going to have to fight the forces that are going to come after Dean. And so, you know, we'll see what happens, but there's a gigantic cliffhanger, and there's a lot of stuff coming up.
Any hints as to what may happen in the fourth?
I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I'd love to give hints, because it's funny, I read sometimes on you know, interviews or something like that I leaked out some plot points or something, and I'll read what the plot point is that I leaked out, and I'm like, that's not even an actual plot point. That's just something I said that I thought, you know, would be cool if it happened, or I thought might happen. But I do not presume to know the intentions of Eric Kripke and his writing elite. So I don't even try. But I know that he has a sort of a 5-year scheme for this show. He wants to be able to tell the story in 5 years, if, you know, that's all we get. So I know he's going to hit it hard. He doesn't. What I love about Kripke and being on one of his shows is that he doesn't just ask questions for the sake of keeping on asking questions and getting the audience to go, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? Like, he answers questions. You know, like I really got into season 1 of Lost. I loved the show. I thought it was a great season of television and a great acted show, great written show. But I started watching season 2, and every question that I wanted answered, they just added like 3 more questions to each question. And I was like, come on, guys, like, give me something, you know, like, quit asking me more questions. I'm already overwhelmed with the plot line as it is. Like, quit making it more complicated. Like, let's get something accomplished. So I love that Kripke, he's not scared to kill off a character, you know? He's not scared to say, what's going to happen to John Winchester? Well, John's dead. John's in hell. Okay, what's going to happen to, you know, Nikki Acox, the Demon Meg? She's dead. She's, you know, like, he kills people off, he gets things done. So what happened to Mary Winchester? That's what we're going to get into 4th season. That's what he said. You know, I think it'd be very interesting, because we know from the pilot that Mary Winchester sees the demon standing over baby Sam and says, you know, you get away from him. So the audience is going, does she know? Is she just mistaken, or does she know something that we don't know? Is it her fault that John and the other 2 Winchester boys got into this in the first place? And so I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there.
And what about Sam? He's in for some changes too.
Sam, I think Sam is in for some changes. I mean, I think Sam's going to have to turn out one way or another with the events of this year, the events of this season, after Dean made his deal and with whatever gets resolved with it. So he's realized that he needs to be more, you know, action man, action first, and instead of just thinking and thinking until it's too late, he realizes, you know, he might have to make a few mistakes every now and again just to protect himself. So I think he's going to be more willing to shoot first and ask questions later.
Sam's had some sadnesses too, and you guys are rarely about to fall in love.
Yeah, Kripke's been very, very clear about, you know, when Sam falls in love, bad things happen to the girl. I think, you know, the pilot starts out and my girlfriend ends up on the ceiling on fire. And then season 1, I sort of get romantically involved with the girl and all the way into kind of giving her a little kiss and never see her again. Season 2, you know, I end up falling in love with someone who turns out to be a werewolf that I have to kill. So he's making it very clear that Sammy's loves aren't going to stick around for a while.
That show was one of your toughest ones, perhaps?
It was one of the toughest ones. It was really Sam heavy. Supernatural has different shows. You know, some really concentrate on Dean and his backstory, some on Sam and his backstory, and some on both. And that episode, Heart, in particular, was a very Sam heavy show. So I was in every day, pretty much all day, every day. It was really my arc and my relationship with this girl who turned out to be a werewolf, and, you know, what it meant for me. So that was a lot of hours. And then obviously, you know, I love to eat candy and cookies and and have a beer at the end of the day, and I couldn't do that because I was getting naked, so I had to watch my girlish figure.
And Emmanuel Rocher is a well-known Canadian.
She's a well-known actress. Yeah, she's Canadian, and she's a well-known actress, and I'd seen her stuff before then. I was like, she's talented, and she's obviously very pretty. So it was neat to work with when you're going to do something like that, you don't want to work with someone who's never done it, because then they're going to be really uncomfortable also. But since she's such an actress first, we treated it like professionals, and it was very, she knew my girlfriend, and I knew that she wasn't trying to like sneakily, get into my trailer or something. We just treated it like two professional actors, and that was really comforting.
I think that was one of the favorites in Canada.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
She's popular too.
Yeah, she did a good job. She did a great job.
Do you have a favorite episode that you've done before? I mean, there's so
we're on our 58th right now.
What's the longest you've ever been away from him?
From Jensen or Dean?
Jensen. Well, Jensen, Dean.
You know what? We go a while sometimes without seeing each other. Like, I know last summer he went straight to Texas to see his family, and I was up in Vancouver. So we'll email each other. I'll send him a text rather, being like, "What's up, man? You watching the game?" He's like, "Yeah, having a beer with my folks." Or we keep in touch one way or another. But we've gone a while because he has a home in L.A. I do not. He lives in Dallas with his family. I live in San Antonio, and when we're here, obviously, we see a lot of each other. And so I think for our off time, we're like, I've had enough of this guy, But we still obviously keep in touch and go have a beer and stuff.
Well, I think you're probably the two curious guys on television.
Yes.
Curious shows.
All right.
Well, now, do you ever have any time to go to Vancouver? Because there's a question here.
I did every now and again, usually just during the weekends. But right now I've been busy during the weekends. But I have a home here now, and I'm outside of Vancouver, and I enjoy my off time. I have a dog and I have a fiance, and I go home and I'll cook myself some food and watch a TV show or watch a movie and check my emails and call my family and friends and get some sleep. I don't really have a whole lot of time to do much usually. It's usually wake up, work out, go to work, go home, shower, go to sleep. Wake up, work out, go to work, go home, shower, go to sleep. So it's sort of my routine.
So no hot spots in Vancouver?
No hot spots. I mean, just restaurants. Not really.
Some restaurants, really.
I love Gotham. I love the Salt Lick. I gotta say Earl's, obviously. I love Tojo's for sushi. All the places. West is one of my favorite restaurants, and Chen Chen downtown. Let's see, I lived a while at the Sutton Place, so all the joints around there, the Earl's and Don Francesco and all the places there on Robson. And basically, if there's a restaurant downtown, I've eaten there. But I gotta say I've probably been to Gotham and Earl's more than any other restaurant in Vancouver.
Let's touch on what you're doing in your breaks.
Okay.
You've got a couple of things going.
I do. Between season 2 and season 3, I did a movie called Christmas Cottage, which is now called Home for Christmas, I believe. And Lionsgate's trying to figure out what to do with it, whether they want to release it in the theaters or do reshoots. And so it's sort of in limbo right now. We don't know yet what's going to happen to it. But this summer, I'm shooting the Friday the 13th remake, and Marcus Nispel is directing it. And he did the Texas Chainsaw remake with Jesse Biel and Pathfinder. And it's produced by Platinum Dunes, who had done Chainsaw remake and the Amityville remake, and I'm just really excited to do it. I was a fan of the franchise originally, and had a lot of fun watching. I obviously enjoy the genre and feel at home and comfortable in those kind of pieces, so I'm going to have a fun time shooting Austin, Texas around my family, and yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So you can bring back some ideas from the set.
Exactly.
For season 4 and say, hey, writers.
Exactly. Go, listen, give this a shot. So we'll see.
So what do you think? One last question. What's in store for Sam and Dean in the 4th season? What do you think? More of what?
In store for Sam and Dean 4th season. I think each season progressively, from season 1 to season 2 and season 2 to season 3, we've sort of turned it up a notch, borrowing from Emeril Lagasse, but the writers have gotten more comfortable with our acting style. We have gotten more comfortable with their writing style, and we just keep on trying more things and hitting it harder. And we sort of touch on it season 1 and really kind of devoted more time to it season 2 and just hit it all out season 3. So I think next season is going to be no holds barred. I think we're going to work for that 5th season pickup, and I think we're just going to keep on rocking ass.
Well,
fucking butt. I probably shouldn't say rocking ass.